Welcome to Albion TV presents the AO Daily Show, your source of real news in an unreal world, keeping you up to date on the latest news, events, and the great community of Albion Online. Today is Thursday, the 26th of September, and I am your host, Shozen, and with me today is my co-host, Bogul. How are you doing today, Bogul?
Hello. Good morning, sir. I'm doing quite good. How are you?
I'm doing okay, but I think I have to turn off this clapping. It's just going and going. There's so many of us just clapping away here in Carleon. I'm gonna have to turn it down a little. But other than that, I'm doing great. We had quite a spike in gold last night, and it's a bit interesting. I'm gonna have to report on that a little bit today, Bogle.
Yes, it is Thursday. It's Market Watch Thursday, Economy Thursday, Gold Watch, Market Watch Thursday. How do we call this show?
The Thursday Market Watch.
All right.
Yeah.
That is it then.
Or at least that's what I've been saying all day in chat, in English chat.
Okay. Well, on this day, we do talk about gold. We do talk about markets. We do talk about things that are a little bit niche for some players, but the whole game for a lot of other players. And not only do we talk about a gold today, but also a little bit about the ending of the auctions that happened over the weekend. We have a few insights there, but in the second part of the show, we want to spend a little bit of time with unsolved questions and elephants in the room for the upcoming future of Albion.
Question about elephants in the room. Are you saying we're gonna, do an entire show on what happened yesterday in my basement?
No, we want to collect a few things that we could ask the developers, maybe for some clarification, because there are a few things that, are a question. How do I phrase this? When
they've created some questions, we've gotten some new information. It doesn't fill in all the blanks. There's some gaping holes in that info, and we know of a few. But I'm sure you guys, as very intent daily listeners and viewers, have probably a lot more that you've noticed. If you're like, "Oh no, have you even thought of this one?" And I'm like, "No." What about this one? No. What about these two? No. So there are some holes that need to be filled, and we'll plug those holes for you.
Yes, we also would like to use this opportunity then to take it one up the ladder, and maybe in a future interview ask these questions, or just make a little bit of a write-up and pose it to the devs as questions. So, But let's start with the straightforward PSAs, reminders, official news for today. I think the only real big thing is the PSA that on this weekend, it's
Invasion Day.
The glorious day, yes.
Invasions are coming. Guys, we've been fracking all month. The energy is bubbling out. Sometimes I wonder, are we fracking to stop the energy from bubbling out sooner, or is the fracking itself of the energy causing these elementals to come out? I don't know, but I do know this, Bogle. Before there were mages out there in the outworlds fracking that energy out of the earth, we never saw these great elemental lords come out and kick everybody out of the Outlands. Everybody just lived there. It was fine. There were no crazy invasion days. Everything was just fine. And then the fracking started, Bogle. And everything was fine. Everybody was making their energy. It was even making the GVG team stronger. But now, Bogle, I think that we're going to have an environmental crisis unlike any we've ever seen before, as I'm afraid that all this fracking is causing instability in the Outlands, and I'm worried we're going to see a catastrophic effect in about 2 months.
Ooh. You've been trying to get into the lore recently, haven't you?
I don't know. Maybe somebody's got to write the lore, right?
Yes. Why not you? I'm serious, by the way. Why not you?
I know. That's dude. I've been telling these guys that for years. And they said, you know what? You can say as much lore as you want. It's just unofficial lore on your daily show, as you are the official, unofficial spokesman of Albion Online.
So it's the Albion TV lore that
Yeah,
we
it's
just make up.
it's the unofficial lore.
Okay.
But don't worry,
Yeah.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. We're gonna get it in there, and hopefully we'll also get some interesting names out there on the maps for you this time, as opposed to morass. Like, and by morass I mean just like a sticky bog of names that just don't, you can't really, you know what I mean.
I like Flesh Eater more ass. So let's talk about the other PSA. We have Percival Patch 6, who was released yesterday. Here are the patch notes if you want to take a look. It's a very brief hotfix patch. A bunch of stuff that was broken before it got fixed. One of them was the taunt. One of them was the protection of nature got its cooldown changed, and some nice FX changes also went in. It's no big balance, but in case you've missed it, here are the patch notes. Yeah, and that's it for the official news today, and we can start right with the Gold Watch. If
Let's start watching that gold. I'll go right to it. Guys, it's like almost 4K right now. We went up at one point. It was very close. About 3 hours ago, it was this close to 4K. So I'm thinking we're going to see, probably going to see that 4K before too long. I don't know if this is an artificial rise. What caused it, I have no idea. I mean, I expected it to be more gradual than this, not just happen over the last 6 hours. Not 6 hours. I guess it's been 12 hours, really, where this big raise has been going on. But wow. I'm still calling 4,200. I still think it's going to hit that. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and it doesn't matter because I'm out of gold. So remember, I have no stake in this anymore. All my gold was converted. Everything I had was converted to tomes.
Yeah.
It's all my entire
I'm in a
wealth.
similar situation. I'm all out of gold as well. But 4 weeks ago, it was still at 3,071, 75. Today, it's been climbing as much as 3,920 something, with a slight reduction of that trend until about a few days ago, and then we hit that weird super spike yesterday. And we don't know what that means, but I'm guessing that a bunch of people are preparing for Invasion Day.
Mm-hmm.
And that not only means people converting some gold to or using some of that to get gear, but maybe also some speculation going on. So I'm not.
I think as we get closer, we're going to see more and more volatility. It's going to be interesting. Frank Sinatra, it says he's going to sell 2 million gold at 4,600 and then buy himself a rocket ship. Now, I know he is on the round table, so he does have information that some of us do not have. So get ready. 10 billion silver rocket ship on the horizon. Get ready. This is going to be good. This is going to probably be for transporting between cities. Bogul and I have been discussing transporting things all day, and a rocket ship would be an amazing way to transport things. I'm pretty sure it would do it. It would get stuff there. I'm ready.
Yeah, the whole transporting thing from A to B is one of these great mysteries that we still have to figure out. By the way, I saw in chat that if you want to walk to the auction house, the Occult Cougar is on there. By the way.
Awesome! I'm gonna go now. I'll go check that out because I was gonna ask you to get that pick again, but it's better to look at it in game. And yeah, guys, don't get surprised when you see me blinking around like this. It's Just me. It's not a bug.
Yes, but with our Thursday timing, we conclude the gold report with saying that this is a interesting development that you should keep a look if you are into speculation. Currently, the prices for premium are for 1 month 9.7 million silver, and for 12 months 74.3 million silver. That's
Bogul,
quite a hefty.
where is this guy? How do I get to him again? You got to remind me.
Search for skin.
It's skin?
Or yeah, Monskin, yeah. Or just look for Occult Cougar. I think it's the name. Yes.
I do see. There's no.
Like this. Boop.
Okay, I'll do that. Hold on, I'm going to copy and paste this because I am not smart. I am just entertaining.
Okay, while you find that image, do we want to move on to the fallout of the auctions then?
Ooh. I like that image. It's freaking sweet. It even looks better now than it did before. I didn't notice that it also had red, like mistiness underneath, like this vibrant red color underneath the bottom of it. Very occult, very cool. Definitely our new best looking mountain game.
Do you think?
It's got a smoke mohawk, Bogul.
All right. Sold. I like the pony. I will also favor any sort of mammoth skin over this one if it ever happens. But my favorite is still the pony. But can we talk about the stupid auctions now? Because they're over and it's pretty big news.
Yeah, it's huge news to you. I know for some of us it's not as big a news as to others. People are like, oh, so now there's you can actually buy a useless town plot. Okay, I'm ready. Tell me about what happened, Bogul, because we talked about this just a little bit, how there are now plots for sale for reasonable amounts of money here. 50 mil.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty low.
Expensive. What?
Compared to what they were going for before.
Yes.
I'm just saying, before. Like from what we were before, we were looking at 250 for a plot. Now we're down to 50 mil. And you're saying, like earlier today, you told me. Now I don't know if I want to bury the lead here like this, like and just be like, oh yeah, let's get this right out of the way. You're down to like 25 mil is what you expect people are going to be paying next.
Something like this, yeah.
Oof.
So to get through this conclusion, though, we saw the Carleon cartel ruling over Carleon and some of the cities with an iron fist for a few months in the past. Then they announced the changes to the auction system where you have to bid, and your full bid that wins the auction will be kept. Regardless of if somebody bids higher or not. So as a consequence, then that means people have to bid more closely to what they actually assume they will make over the course of the auction cycle, or something that at least signals what they think the plot is worth. And that caused a lot of people to just go, nope.
Math.
And a lot of math. But in practice, you saw at least 20, if not 30 plots in Carleon change hands this auction. This is a very, very big number compared to the previous months. And I know that not only Frank Sinatra got, I think, at least 12 plots, but I myself also got 5 plots by just bidding around 30 million a plot. So that means, furthermore, that people did not defend their plots for 15 million silver.
Damn.
Which is incredibly low.
Wow.
If you think about it.
Yeah, it is. That's what it's telling me, that you and Frank have been telling everybody that you can't make any money with these buildings, and then the next thing I know is you and Frank's are the new Carleone cartel here. I think it's rigged. Oh my god.
Well, sir, look at some of the plots for sale.
Yeah,
Um,
I've been doing that.
and these will not only come down a little bit in the future, but also uh, what I find more interesting is that there seems to be an exodus compared to a gold rush that happened in Carleon in the past. So if I don't know where this is going, sir. I hear a lot of people being afraid of a deserted city and a sort of run for the hills in the future. So I know there is a lot of discussion going on as to what the value of Carleon will be in the future, specifically because we know that there will be no more Outlands portal here. And this is a little discussion we wanted to have, whether or not that fear is deserved or if it's just because of the changes to the auction system
Well,
that
if you
these
were,
plots change. And
I'm gonna be. We talked about this a lot, and you kind of swayed me in a direction. I didn't tell you swayed me, but you were saying yes, this is justified because from what we know, the value of this city is going to go down. Now, I speculate, and this is pure speculation, the value of this city is not going to go down as much as we anticipate. Now, we're saying the value of this city is going to go down because in the new map, there will be no portal from Carleone to the Outworld, or the Outlands. It's just not going to be there. There's no Black Zone portal anymore. You can only get to it from the 5 ring cities. And that the area around Carleone will be the high-end royal zones. And you said that it will maintain some value because it will still be where you get to the black market.
correct, yeah.
I believe, and I'm not going to go into too much speculation on this because I think that would be dangerous, but I do believe there will be some added benefit to Carleone in the future. I do not know if it will come with the new patch where we get the new outlying world, but I believe in the future we will see Carleone either completely destroyed, in which case it's good to get out. Get out now! Or it will be reworked to once again be a more useful city for something else. And I'll do it. I'll speculate right now. More useful for PvE. It will be like the Royal Zone PvE hub. And
I don't share that.
I know.
I don't share that at all. I don't see any indication for PvE whatsoever. What I could see is what they announced actually, that they want to rework the faction system, and in that style, Carleon will play a role. But that's like what, a year and a half away, maybe longer.
You're talking about the Royals
The re-
rework?
Yeah,
I
for-
think
for
that's about
faction
a
warfare.
faction. Okay. I do think I think that will be next year's winter content. But I really have. There's no. It's all speculation. When we're talking about things that are this far out on the roadmap, it's pure speculation. But I do
Yeah.
see that they have a love for the faction warfare. It didn't work the way they wanted to. I don't think it's going to be treated like arenas. I think it's going to get a quicker rework, and I think it will be significant because they have plans for it to also be significant in the Outlands at one point. And I think that is going, like, from what just listening to them, I think that's going to come quicker than a year after the new map. Like, we know they have a few things on the roadmap down the road that they want to add these multiple things other than the new map. And I think that it's a higher priority to get that Outworld or Outlands, the black zones, to where they want them. And to get them there, they need to put this faction warfare in. The new map is currently on schedule to be the next content update, which we expect before the end of the year. And to narrow it down more than that, I don't want to get too specific. But if you would like to say, like Starping is in a month or two, I would say you go on the longer side of that, and you'll be pretty close. But I expect it by the end of the year.
So let's talk about the short term then. What will happen? Because that is the more relevant, I feel like, to discuss what will happen in the next 2, 3, 4 months with Carleon and maybe the development of the city there. I think that this sort of race to the bottom will continue for a while. That in practice, it will be very good for the people living in Carleon because right now the natural development of the whole situation, especially the crafting tax, is just on a downward trend where it's barely profitable to run a plot or a shop if you're not utilizing it, as we discussed in the past. So there will be a lot of money lost, I think, with the people who are currently invested into plots. I'm a little worried that I won't be able to get rid of these plots for 50 million silver even. So we have to see where that sort of stabilizes in the next few weeks, and then hopefully people will figure out how to make money with plots again. I know how I do it, but that's business secrets, right? So I know it's possible. It's just I can give one tip: you need people, right? If you just rely on taxes and income from people going to your thing, then it's not going to be enough. You need to utilize it yourself. Now, that said, the ongoing immediate future is, as I said, I think prices will crash a little bit to acquire a plot. And then if you're a small guild, then you can try to make one work if you have enough people. But you sort of talked about one thing that we sort of want to mention as well here is transportation, the topic of transportation.
Yeah.
Because if you think about the whole relation of what Carleon will be versus what Carleon is now, and how the resource flow happens or should happen, specifically through or into the black market. I know you had one point that you kind of like to talk about. Do you remember what you wanted to say about transport?
Which part? Because I know I do not remember. You fill me in here. You remind me, and I'll probably go. Oh yeah, I remember now what Bogul's talking about.
Well, mostly we were wondering how resources get around, right? And we were wondering what is possible for guilds to do, because some of the generation of resources will be different, and a lot of the consumption of resources will be moved to what we think is the Outlands in the future.
Yeah.
And we were wondering how much of that is going to end up in Carleon and through how many layers of processing it goes before it arrives there, or if it will just stay the same more or less and just don't have.
Oh, you're talking about like
stuff.
as you get, because so many of the resources are going to be coming from the Outlands, is what we were talking about. As people live
there's
there.
no direct connection anymore, right?
Right.
They just
they
have to go through the royals.
Will they get more expensive because they have to come through the royals, through the port cities, then into Carleon? Because there aren't going to be, as far as we know, there's not going to be any tier 8 spawning anywhere in the royals. That doesn't seem like that's going to happen. So will we see a further increase in high-end materials in Carleon because they have to pass 3 checkpoints before they even get there? That's an interesting theory. Where I thought you were going, honestly, before this was the idea that right now the biggest problem that you and I had with transport was that it lacked a that aspect to draw you to want to do it either for fun or profit. Right now, transport seems to be the thing you have to do with your stuff because you have too much stuff and you have to get it somewhere. It's not really there's no motivation to do it other than you need to get your frickin' stuff here. Oh my God, I'm moving again. I got to get my stuff here. There's never, ooh, you know what? I can make a hefty profit if I go ahead and transport these goodies. Yes, there is the faction warfare that does have the minimal transport stuff for funsies. Ooh, somebody gonna give me something? I'll take it.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to make two comments. One on the layers and hoops you have to go through to get stuff from the Outlands to Kalion.
Mm-hmm.
I think that with, or especially if the resource refining bonuses for the Royal Cities stay the same, we will see everything being turned into resources and refined into or crafted into gear in the royals, in the royal cities before it goes to Kalion, I think, because it has less volume. Gear is lighter than just raw resources, but it's also higher bonuses there. So that's one thing I see, but the other thing I'm not quite sure is what the surrounding areas of Carleon will be like in terms of spawns. So it could very well be that there's enough supply just around Carleon that making tier 6 gear in Carleon or tier 7 gear is still a thing. So it's one of the very tricky questions that we don't know yet. But in terms of people moving stuff to Carleon, apart from the trust issue that just comes from not having trade contracts, I see that as a more lucrative thing for guilds to do in the future. I've always loved the idea of having, a weekly trade run to sell some of your stuff in Carleon. And the black market, in theory, is the thing to do that for, right? In theory, you want to make a bunch of gear that you create in the Outlands and then move it through the Royals and then into Carleon and sell it for that hefty profit. But yeah, as you mentioned, transportation is one of the things that.
Well, we saw that guild pop up. Hold on, let me see if I can get their name. I do believe I have it right in front of me, actually, because Red Fox Hauling. Yeah, those guys. And they're still going at it. They've now got... Nope, actually, no. Bogul, the last time they did anything was July 31st.
Yeah. So transportation as a profession
Ooh.
does not exist, really. That's a problem. And then I don't know if the black market will be or have enough demand that it will be a thing to move tier 8 gear there. But it could very well be.
Yeah. Well, like people are already talking about that they do worry that they will see this being useless. I don't think it's going to be. Like I said, I have a feeling that we're going to see it change. Like the overall use of Carleon will change, and I still see it as a portal to somewhere, just not to the Outlands. And I think there will be, over time, a distinct difference between the Outlands for PvP and the Royals for more PvE. I just kind of feel like that's the direction they're going in, and I don't have any evidence to support that.
But that's a 1 year away, 2 years away. I think that's too far to make like actual speculation out of. Compared to what could be as close as the end of the year even. Yeah, that also puts us to, I think, that the last topic that we have, that's sort of an overlap probably into overtime, but we wanted to collect a few sort of unsolved questions that just got raised by the announcement of the Queen update. One of them, of course, is what will happen to our stuff that's all spread all across the resource towers. Will it just get teleported like one time into our inbox, or will it just disappear? So far, there is no information what they want to do, but that's a big elephant in the room. I know you have an opinion on what you would like to say there.
Yeah, I don't like I have a lot of friends who are all like, I'm worried about my stuff out in these towers. I want it all returned. And I'm like, can you go get it now? And they're like, no, I don't even remember where it is. But now I can never go get it when they destroy these towers. And I'm like, well, it wasn't like you were going to get it back if they didn't give it to you. So I kind of am of the feeling that it should all be destroyed. However, I believe since we know the map is going to be removed, that it would be interesting to have some kind of lore-based event where in the lore of the game, the Outlands become unstable. Nobody is allowed to own any territories. There are no guards on any of the territories or war camps, and you can go out into the world and just go pick up your stuff if you want it. And for
But that doesn't help if I don't remember where my
right,
stuff is.
and if you don't remember where it is, you don't. I almost dropped the big old F-bomb here. You don't deserve it. Like, if you don't know where your stuff is,
I disagree.
you don't deserve to get it back. Like, if you're
I
not going to
think
go
I
out and
think
go get
Albion
it,
should have an asset overview. That is a oversight that it should have had for 2 years already, and that I'm supposed to know where my stuff is. Like, this is not something I have to write down on a notepad outside of the game. So I think because it should be in the game, I think that is not a valid argument. But yeah, different opinions, I guess.
well, I mean, if you had a week, you could definitely go through and go to every single tower in the game and find out what you lost, like, or what you still had, and you could do it. It's not like you can't go there if there were no guards. Like right now, I understand it. Like if it went from guards to suddenly everything's gone, that would be mean. That would be like, there's no chance for you to have a chance of even getting your stuff back. Yeah. But if you have a chance at getting your stuff and they somehow relate it to some lore based event, like energy fracking, scaring away all the guards because these elemental guys just keep popping up all around the Outlands. Even the Morganas run away. There's no more wandering mobs in the Outland for a week. Oh no. And then you just go out there and get your stuff back. Like, I would be okay with that. But I worry that if we give everybody all their stuff that they've ever lost, it's very out of Albion like theme. Albion is the game that people who don't like participation trophies play. And this feels like a participation trophy. It's like, okay, you all guys showed up to the gathering party. Everybody gets all their stuff.
I think it would be fair. Mostly because I'm supposed to be told where my stuff is. I feel like
Why? I don't think they've ever told you that you were gonna know where your stuff was. That you can.
But it's a standard feature in good games. And that part of Albion I absolutely don't like. Because there's too many chests in too many different locations that it's unfair to make me spend hours and hours go through all the different ones. And that's not a reasonable expectation for a game. To break the immersion here. So. That said, I don't know.
I think it's a problem on both sides. I think that both sides have legit arguments on this, and that there's going to be no perfect answer, and no matter what they do, people are going to be pissed. Like if everybody gets their stuff for free, they're going to be pissed. If people can go get their stuff, people are going to be pissed. If nobody can go get their stuff, people are going to be pissed. If people are get their stuff and they lose a percentage of their stuff, they're going to be pissed. Everybody's, no matter what happens in this situation, it's going to be a change. People are going to be unhappy.
I think everybody will be happy if they just get free stuff.
I wouldn't be.
Well,
I mean, I'll be
have to much, right?
No, that's completely not true. I used to be in Money Guild. I guarantee you, I have millions and millions of silver worth of resources over in Money Guild Southern Powers, 100%. I did get my gathering all the way up, and I didn't on two tools. So there's probably a bunch of my stuff out there, but I like the risk reward challenge of Albion, and maybe you're right. Maybe if they gave us a one time printout of where all our stuff was, like if it doesn't even tell you how much stuff you have in it. Just says you get a mail and it says you have something in Skankag. The Skankag chest has something.
You have something in Skankag. Yeah.
I don't know.
I maybe that's a compromise.
Because
If there's a reasonable time frame to pick it up. But yeah.
now there is the.
I was
Go
thinking
ahead.
maybe you can announce like guys, if you log in between that and that time, your stuff will be teleported. If you don't log in, it's poof. So to make a bunch of people come in and check out the update. Maybe that's another option. Yeah. But I think we've been talking way too long on this and sort of going into a few directions. So I think we need to end the AO Daily Show here and then take a minute break before we move into overtime, and then wait for Lupac to do the AO Live stuff. Yeah.
Sounds good. I definitely see that chat has definitely got a lot of very strong opinions on what we were just talking about, which is why we had to bring it up. Like, stuff is going on and there's no answer to it. And this isn't even, we didn't even get to the second one or the point where we were asking other people for their ideas. We just had one of them. Just one. Took up the whole time.
Well, we have a few more weeks to bring these up.
We do have a few more weeks until the patch. We can talk about one a week for the next 47 weeks. We're good. All right. Let's go do that. Thank you guys for tuning in. You can watch us here Monday through Friday at 18 UTC at twitch.tv/Albion Online. You can check us out later, not live, on youtube.com/AO or Albion TV, and soundcloud.com/AlbionTV. So thank you guys for tuning in, and until next time, stay classy, Albion.